UFC Des Moines, Sandhagen versus Figueiredo, and I'm going to be giving you guys my full card predictions and breakdown. I'm excited to get into each of these fights. And real quick, I just wanted to say thanks to all the new subscribers. I wasn't expecting that many people to come and hit the subscribe button on my channel, so shout out to all of you, and especially shout out to my brother. But with that being said, let's jump straight to the first fight of the night. So first fight of the night, we got Juliana Miller versus Ivana Petrović. And in this fight, I'm going Ivana Petrović. Juliana Miller, yes, she won the Ultimate Fighter, but man, she's been looking not too good in her last few performances. She's coming off the loss against Luana Santos, where she got absolutely pieced up. Luana Santos beat the hell out of her. Juliana Miller, yes, she's got some people who would say she's got dog, but she just pretty much just comes at you with her head sitting there, square as shit, ready to get hit. Ivana Petrović, solid grappler and decent striker. I would say Ivana Petrović is going to just come out there and beat up Juliana Miller. Juliana Miller is just not it. Ivana Petrović, I think she's going to be the better all-around fighter. I could see her finishing Juliana Miller in this one. Give me Ivana Petrović to get the win by a finish. I could see her subbing her. I could even see her fucking cracking her on the feet. So I'm going to go Ivana Petrović to get the win. The odds on this, we got Juliana Miller sitting at the plus 195 underdog, whereas Ivana Petrović is the minus 230 favorite. So Ivana Petrović should just dominate Miller in this one. So I'm going to go her to get the win. Next fight of the night, we got my guy Don'Tale Mayes versus Thomas Petersen. And Thomas Petersen, he's all right. He's a decent striker, decent grappler. Don'Tale Mayes, people would say he's kind of trash, but he's got a lot of power in his hands. He's fucking huge. Look at him. He's 6'6", 81-inch reach. He's pretty much a giant in the cage. Where Thomas Petersen, he's 6'1", 74-inch reach. And in his last fight to Shamil Gaziev, I was not impressed by his performance. I didn't think he looked too great. I was not impressed. I didn't like how he looked. Don'Tale Mayes is coming off the loss to Walter Walker, where he got subbed real quick. Very easy fight for Walter Walker, but I'll tell you guys right now, when you look at him and Shamil Gaziev when they went against each other, Shamil Gaziev couldn't get him out of there. Could not get him out of there. Shamil Gaziev was putting the pace on him, and Don'Tale Mayes was able to stay in there with him. Whereas Thomas Petersen, he went in there with Shamil Gaziev and got flatlined, all right? So I'm going the underdog, Don'Tale Mayes, in this fight. I don't know. I just see something for Don'Tale Mayes. I see him landing a right hand on Petersen. I think he's going to fucking flatline Petersen. Don'Tale Mayes, he likes throwing a kind of like a shovel, like a lead shovel uppercut to the right hand. And for some reason, I see him being able to crack Petersen with that. Petersen, he's a southpaw. And for some reason, I see Mayes being able to come in and hit that side of his face with the right hand. I think he's going to leave himself open. And I see Petersen going out in this fight. Give me Don'Tale Mayes to get the win by a KO. The odds on this, we got Don'Tale Mayes sitting at the plus 215 underdog. Thomas Petersen, the minus 255 favorite. And I don't know. I just have this weird feeling about Don'Tale Mayes that he's going to totally chin Petersen. So give me Don'Tale Mayes to get the win. Next fight of the night, we got Gaston Bolaños versus Kwang Lee. Gaston Bolaños, he's got decent kickboxing, decent striker. His ground game's not terrible. Kwang Lee, coming off of 2 losses. And his last fight, he got absolutely KO'd by Long Zhao. And then before that, he went to a nice, tough-fought decision with Chris Gutierrez, I would say. Kwang Lee was in there with him. And I would say Chris Gutierrez is a pretty solid fighter. And then Gaston Bolaños, he's coming off the win against Cortavius Romius by a decision. But I'm not impressed by Cortavius Romius. I don't really think he's anything special, so that win isn't really that big for me. Marcus McGee was able to knock out Gaston Bolaños on the feet. But with this fight, I see it being very close, and I'm gonna go. This one's been tough for me all week. It's gonna be a close fight. But for some reason, I do want to go Kwang Lee to get the win in this one. I think he's due for the win. He's got He's got very good pressure. He likes being on that front foot, and I can see him touching up Gaston Bolaños. Yes, Gaston Bolaños is going to be touching him as well. So they're both going to be touching each other, So we're in for a good fight. But I'm going to go Quang Le to get the win. I'm going to go decision. I can see it being a very close fight. The odds, Bolaños is sitting at the minus 139 favorite. Quang Le's the plus 119. But I'm going to go Quang Le. I'm going the underdog, Quang Le. I know my brother's picking him as well. But yeah, I just think Quang Le can get it done in this one. So give me Quang Le. Next fight of the night, we got Marina Rodriguez versus Jillian Robertson. So Jillian Robertson, obviously she's a grappler. Striking is nothing to talk about, really. She's got all right striking, but her goal in this fight, she's going to get it to the ground fast. I see her coming out in the first 10 seconds. She's getting this fight to the ground. Marina Rodriguez, yes, her striking for a women's fighter, I like her striking a lot. She's 1-4 in her last 5. She beat Michelle Waterson, but come on, she was getting beat up on the ground by fucking Luciendo. Jillian Robertson is going to come out there and just get this fight to the ground fast. Jillian Robertson is a very confident pick, and I see her grinding out the win over Rodriguez. I mean, I'm going to say a decision win, but I wouldn't be shocked if I see Robertson getting the sub on Rodriguez. In this fight, the odds, Rodriguez is the plus 250 underdog, whereas Jillian Robertson's the minus 300 favorite. But yeah, I see Robertson being able to get this done with ease. Next fight of the night, we got Bekoev versus Ryan Loder. And something was telling me to pick Ryan Loder, but I couldn't. I went Asmat Bekoev. But I'll be straight up, I'm not that impressed by Bekoev. Yes, he's got solid, decent striking. He's got decent grappling, whereas Ryan Loder, pure grappler. He's going to want to get this fight to the ground as fast as possible. But Bekoev, he's got good takedown defense. I don't see Ryan Loder being able to get him down that easy. I think Bekoev is going to be better on the feet. And he's got that power in his hands, so I could see him touching up Ryan Loder. Whereas Loder, he's got good ground, good jiu-jitsu. But Azamat Bekoev, it's hard to pick against him. As much as I wanted to pick Ryan Loder to get the win, he's not going to get the win. I'm going Azamat Bekoev. The odds on this one, we got Bekoev sitting at the minus 380 favorite, whereas Ryan Loder's the plus 315. So Loder's a pretty big underdog, and I do see Azamat Bekoev being able to get it done. Next fight of the night, we got Yana Santos versus Miesha Tate. Yana Santos, very light on her feet. She likes keeping the fights on the feet. She likes using her range, using her straight shots, and touching up her opponents on the feet. But Miesha Tate, very good wrestler, very good grappler. And I could see her being able to take down Yana Santos, but I am going to go Yana Santos to get the win here. I think she's going to be able to get it done by decision. Miesha Tate, her striking is not it. It's not there. Yana Santos is going to have a big advantage on the feet, but Miesha Tate is going to have the big advantage on the ground. So I can see this fight being pretty close, but I'm going to go Yana Santos to be able to avoid the takedown, stay on the back foot, stay away from Miesha Tate. But Yana Santos, she's still got decent enough takedown defense, but this fight is going to be close, but I'm leaning towards Yana Santos to get the win. The odds on this, we got Yana Santos sitting at the plus 116, and Miesha Tate is the minus 136 favorite. But I'm going to go Yana Santos. I think she'll get it done by decision. And you never know. We might end up seeing a split decision on this fight. So, next fight of the night, we got Jeremy Stephens versus M.Jones. Both of these guys were in the UFC. Both of them are making their comeback shot in the UFC in this fight. But Jeremy Stephens, he took some time away from MMA. He was doing his thing in BKFC. And I think he did some boxing as well. But he was doing bare knuckle. M.Jones, he's coming off the win against Pagani. And M.Jones, neither of these two are that impressive. Jeremy Stephens, yes, he's got some power. M.Jones, he's a solid striker. He likes volume. But the age difference here is a big one for me. 38-year-old Jeremy Stephens versus 30-year-old M.Jones. Maybe if this fight was a few years ago, I would be going the side of Jeremy Stevens. But I'm going to go Mason Jones to get the win here. I think he's just going to have a little more in the tank. And Jeremy Stevens, his last fight in PFL, I wasn't liking how he looked. So I think Mason Jones is going to be able to take control of him in this fight. I see him touching him up on the feet. The odds on this, we got Mason Jones is the minus 525 favorite. Jeremy Stevens, the plus 410 underdog. And that's a very reasonable line. I see Jeremy Stevens as the big underdog because I don't think he's going to win. But on Topology, we got some people saying Stevens by KO, so maybe you can hit on that. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Mason Jones is going to be able to take control of him. Next fight of the night, we got Cameron Smotherman versus S.Sidey. In this fight, I'm going to go S.Sidey to get the win. Cameron Smotherman, yes, he's coming off the win against Jake Hadley where he looked very good. Jake Hadley is a solid fighter, but I don't know. Jake Hadley was originally supposed to be fighting someone else, and then Cameron Smotherman, I feel like he just kind of got caught off guard. So Jake Hadley wasn't performing at his best potential, I would say. But no credit taken from Cameron Smotherman. He looked very good in his last fight. S.Sidey, he's coming off the split decision win against Armfield. And I'll tell you guys right now, that was a close fight. S.Sidey, he was trying to keep the fight on the back foot. He was using his range, throwing his straight shots. Armfield, he liked pressuring him, and he was pressuring S.Sidey pretty much the whole fight. And I do see Cameron Smotherman doing the same thing. I see Smotherman coming forward in this fight. I see him trying to press the action against S.Sidey. But I think S.Sidey is going to be able to use his range and keep the fight on the outside, and I see him just touching up Cameron Smotherman. But again, I see this fight being close. I could even see a split decision. Like, we're gonna have Cameron Smotherman pressing the action and S.Sidey just kind of touching him from the outside. So I think you might even see this go split decision. Yes, S.Sidey, he can crack, and I could see him landing some good shots on Smotherman, but I could also see Smotherman being able to land some good shots on S.Sidey. So I see this fight being very close, but I'm gonna go S.Sidey to get the win by decision. The odds on this, we got S.Sidey, he's sitting at the minus 135 favorite. Cameron Smotherman sitting at the plus 115. I'm going to go S.Sidey, but this fight, I would say it's going to be close. Now, next fight of the night, we got Montel Jackson versus Daniel Marcos. Montel Jackson has been looking, I would say, pretty well in his last few fights. He's coming off the win against Damon Blackshear where he absolutely flatlined him. Beautiful, beautiful straight shot that he landed on Blackshear. Absolutely sat him down. Daniel Marcos coming off the split decision win against Adrian Yanez. And to me, that I don't really like that. Montel Jackson, I think, would beat up Adrian Yanez. Jackson's been on a tear lately. And I see Jackson being able to touch up Daniel Marcos in this. Marcos, he's going to be trying to get into the range of Jackson, but I see Jackson just cracking him on the feet. I could see Jackson being able to get the knockout. So that's what I'm going to go. I'm going to say Jackson to get the KO over Marcos. But Marcos is a tough son of a bitch, and he could probably sit in there and take some big old shots. But I'm going Jackson to get the win. The odds on this, we got Daniel Marcos, the plus 171 underdog. Jackson, the minus 201 favorite. But I don't know. Jackson, I think he's just going to be too technical for Marcos. I think he's just going to be outstriking him. And I could see a big shot coming through and knocking out Daniel Marcos. But Daniel Marcos, tough dude, 17-0. So you can't fully count him out. This guy's still a dog. But I'm going to go Jackson to get the win. Next fight of the night, we got Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Daniel Rodriguez. And this is one of those ones where this was pretty hard for me to make a decision. I've been trying to figure out what I want to do. And I found what I'm doing. I'm going Santiago Ponzinibbio to get the win. Ponzi, yes, he's old now. He's 38. But you look at D-Rod, he's also 38. And I think Ponzinibbio is going to still be sharper than Daniel Rodriguez. Ponzinibbio, I think he's going to be a little faster, a little cleaner. Daniel Rodriguez, Yes, he's got that dog in him, as they say, but that dog might have left a couple years ago. I'm not gonna lie. So D-Rod, he's gonna be trying to and press the pace with a lot of volume. But I think Ponzinibbio has more power in his punches. I think he's a little faster, and I see him cracking up Daniel Rodriguez on the feet. I do see this fight going to a decision. It's going to be I would say, a solid fight. Both of these guys definitely come in there to bang, I would say. Santiago Ponzinibbio, I just think he's going to be a little crisper, a little bit cleaner. Daniel Rodriguez, I feel like he looks a little bit sloppy at times. Ponzinibbio, sometimes he be dropping his hands in fights, but I think his striking is going to be a little bit better than Daniel Rodriguez in this one. The odds on this, we got Daniel Rodriguez sitting at the minus 105, Ponzinibbio minus 115. So these lines pretty much even. So we got even lines on this fight, but I'm going to lean Ponzinibbio. This is going to be a very close fight. So next fight of the night, we got the co-main event, De Ridder versus Bo Nickal. So Reinier De Ridder, solid jiu-jitsu. He likes getting the subs. You know, he likes using his ground game, using his jiu-jitsu to get control over his opponents. Bo Nickal, he likes using his wrestling to get control of his opponents. He likes getting the fight to the ground, taking his opponents down multiple times and just grinding them out. But in this fight, what we're going to see is Bo Nickal get the win. I'm going Bo Nickal, and I think Bo Nickal is going to be touching up De Ridder on the feet. De Ridder striking kind of worries me. I'm not very impressed with his striking. De Ridder is on a 3-fight winning streak right now, with his last fight being a submission. He got the rear naked choke on Kevin Holland. But again, Kevin Holland, he makes some stupid mistakes in fights. But in this fight, Bo Nickal, I think he's going to be too good on the ground. I don't see Reinier De Ridder subbing him. I see Bo Nickal. I could see Bo Nickal not even taking this fight to the ground earlier in the fight. I can see him touching up De Ridder on the feet. He's going to start cracking him on the feet. Then I could see him start pressing the takedown and using that top control. I'm going Bo Nickal to get the win. Some people are on De Ridder right now, and I don't know why. I personally think De Ridder's kind of trash. But Bo Nickal hasn't truly been tested yet, but I see him getting the win in this one. Bo Nickal, minus 330 favorite. Reinier De Ridder sitting at the plus 270 underdog. And I just see Bo Nickal, he's going to keep that winning streak alive. He's going to keep that undefeated record. And I see him getting the win over De Ridder. Next fight of the night, we got Corey Sandhagen versus Deiveson Figueiredo. Deiveson Figueiredo, yes, he's got pop. He's got a lot of speed. He can crack on the feet. Corey Sandhagen, I would say he's got some power, but I would say he's more of a speed fighter. He likes touching up his opponents, all right? I don't think he's got that super one-punch power KO as Deiveson Figueiredo has. But even though Figueiredo has that one-punch KO, I don't see him being able to use it on Corey Sandhagen. I'm going Corey Sandhagen and get the win in this fight. I think he's just going to be pinging Deiveson Figueiredo from the outside. I think he's going to be touching him up on the feet. I can see Figueiredo trying to use the clinch and grapple him and press him up against the cage, but I think Corey Sandhagen's going to come out looking a lot sharper than Figueiredo. Both of these guys are coming off the losses. We got Sandhagen coming off the loss against Umar. Deiveson Figueiredo coming off the loss against Peter Yan. And come on. You got to go Corey Sandhagen. Deiveson Figueiredo, 37 years old. Corey Sandhagen, 33. I just think Corey Sandhagen's is smoother. He's slick. He's got that striking. He's got that nice kickboxing. He's got a lot of speed in his strikes. Deiveson Figueiredo, yes, he's got the pop. But I can't see him winning this fight. Corey Sandhagen, I think, takes control of him. I think Corey Sandhagen is going to crack him up on the feet. And you never know. Corey Sandhagen could get the finish. But I'm going to lean Corey Sandhagen to get this fight done by a decision. The odds on this, we got Corey Sandhagen, the huge favorite, sitting at a minus 500. Figueiredo, the plus 375. I know some people are trying to bet on Figueiredo. They're like, oh, these lines are too wide, but they're wide for a reason. Corey Sandhagen is going to get the win in this. Figueiredo, He's got that puncher's chance where he just lands some crazy fucking overhand shot. But come on, that's fucking, the odds of that happening is very low. Corey Sandhagen is going to piece him up and tear him apart in this fight. So give me Corey Sandhagen to get the win by a decision. So those are my full card predictions for UFC Des Moines. Des Moines. You know, I like to call it Des Moines, all right? But those are going to be my full card picks. Let me know what you guys think, and make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. And I'm excited to be breaking down all these UFC fights with all these new subs on the channel. So shout out to you guys. But I'll see you on the next one. Peace.